What's up? It's your boy, Skinny here. Well, you know, the most massive cock in the world with my co-host, Bizarre, who's also known as the most smallest in the world. Like, it's the smallest anyone's ever seen on this planet. Alright, now over to you.
Hey, my name's Bizarre. I guess it's micro bizarre. Anyways, welcome back to BizarreCast. This is episode 2, I think. We definitely just uploaded the last one like a week ago. No time at all has passed.
Yeah, totally no time skip arc or anything, you know, nothing of that nature.
This is a pretty consistent series we've got going on here. So yeah, I'm Bizarre. I do stupid shit on YouTube, and I stream maybe twice a year. And Zeno, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and maybe tell us a little fun fact you think people should know.
Hello, I'm Zeno. You know, I stream every now and then, trying to do that more often. You know, a little fun fact. You know, I just like to conquer planets and everything. Just, you know, usual space emperor. And I love hentai. Like, I absolutely love it. Like, there's nothing better on this green earth than hentai.
What about hentai do you love so much?
I don't know. It's just, I like them anime titties. What can I say?
It speaks to the soul.
It does. It really does.
So, what's been you in the life of Zeno? Anything going on? Anything fun happening?
Not much really. Well, I've been watching like Jujutsu Kaisen. It's kind of really the only thing I've kind of been watching for the most part. Oh, actually, no, I did go back and rewatch. I don't know if you watched them, the Castlevania series.
No, I saw there's a new one out.
Yes, that's why. So I watched it and I finished it within 2 days.
God damn.
And so I'm like, you know what? I want to rewatch the first series. So I finished the first series within 4 days.
Jesus, how long are they?
The first one, there's 4 seasons. The first season's only got like 4 episodes. Second's got 8, and then the last 2 have 12 each.
Not too bad, I guess.
So, yeah, and I think the new one, Nocturne, has about 12 episodes. Correct me if I'm wrong. 12 to 8, something like that.
Are they like the normal, like 20 minutes, or are they like an hour?
Yeah, they're about 20, 30 minutes long. They're very good. Like, I love them. Especially the newest one is very good.
I was gonna say I haven't watched them, but I've seen them like advertised on Netflix and whatnot, and all I've heard is good things, especially about that first one that came out, I guess, a couple years ago now. And then I saw that new one was out and about, and I was like, I should watch it, but I don't want to watch this unless I watch the other one that came out, and then it's just been put on the backlog with everything else that I intend to watch.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that sort of same situation. But going back to, I guess, more anime, like more Japanese style anime, I think I told you, I have started watching One Piece. I'm still only on episode 5. I haven't really watched anything else. Like I said, I've only really been watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and I've been kind of trying to catch up on Spy Family, just because I know second season came out, but I don't know if you watched anything lately.
Not really. I've been trying to stay consistent with Zom 100, since I can be like, yeah, I read that before it was announced for an anime, though, because it was pretty underground when I started it, and then as soon as I started reading it, I was like, this is gonna be an anime. It's just one of those where it's like, you know, it's like it's gonna be picked up by somebody.
Yeah, because you introduced me to it, and I was kind of somewhat along with it. Yeah, and I haven't watched the anime yet, but
it's good.
From what I've heard and seen,
there's also
really good.
A Zom 100 movie, like a live action movie on Netflix that came out maybe a month or so ago, and it's pretty corny. I don't know why, just like it's pretty corny, but it's not bad. Like, obviously, like, you know, live action and anime don't really go hand in hand, but for like, if you just look at it for what it is, especially compared to like the manga, it's not serious whatsoever. And people were complaining about it. Like, at one point they fight like the zombie shark. Have you gotten to that point or whatever? Yeah,
That's
pretty early.
I think the last thing in the manga, I think, was when it showed the other guy, like the bad guy, I guess, his villain.
Yeah, and that's about where I got to in the manga before I fell off. Not because I don't want to keep reading it, but just because, you know, life.
Money.
Yeah. Well, whatever, time. Yeah. But anyway, people were complaining that, like, he's fighting a zombie shark who has zombie legs sticking out of him. That's so stupid and unrealistic.
Oh, that reminds me. I saw that clip. I saw it, like people were making it. Yeah, like on TikTok. I think someone was making a meme about it.
Yeah. I was like, that it's literally in the manga. It's like they didn't just come up with that to do whatever. They did skip around in the live action, and some things happen differently. But I mean, it kind of has to. Otherwise, it would drag on for so long. The only thing, my only gripe about it was they didn't introduce my fucking German girl, my German otaku woman that I love so much. And I don't remember her name, but
you love her so much, but you don't even remember her name.
She's so beautiful that I don't even need to know her name. I just call her
Queen.
Pretty girl queen, yeah. And she wasn't in the movie, unfortunately. But other than that, it was pretty good. I think the casting was good. Some parts were funnier than I thought it would be, because a lot of times when they're like trying to be funny, it kind of just comes off as like cringe. But it was pretty decent. In the same vein as live action anime, did you say you watched the live action One Piece?
I have not, but it's on my to-do list. I think I'm gonna watch it after I kind of watch a little bit more of the actual anime.
Yeah,
just so I can compare the two.
I think we both, up until this point, have spent a large part of our anime lives shit talking One Piece because it's an easy target. And,
it really is.
I mean, it's been going on for fucking decades, and it's just, for me, it's like that one anime that's like, it just seemed a little cringe, but because like it's like too anime. Like, to me, trying to watch Fairy Tail was like too anime, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
I mean, I get it because it's just, a product of the times, and it's just like how it was. But like, I can't go back and watch that, and
it just looks like over the top.
Yeah, and it's just too much. And I think One Piece would be the same way. But the live action, I don't know what about it drew me in, and I didn't plan to watch it because I was like, I don't give two shits. I don't know anything about One Piece at all, other than like I've seen the characters and I've seen the memes.
Yeah,
but like I had no intention on watching the Netflix show, and I started it, and then I think I binged it in like 2, maybe 3 days. Like, each episode's like an hour, and I think there's like 8 episodes or something like that. But I was like, shit, this, like, it's not amazing, it's not perfect, but as far as like anime adaptations go, I think it was pretty good, which I feel slimy.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about. I only really started watching One Piece because, I had a friend that he started watching it because he recently got a new job where he just kind of stays at home for the most part. He works on his computer. And so he has a lot of free time. So he started watching One Piece because of how much there is. And he fell in love with it, basically. And so he kept messaging me and bothering me. He's like, you need to start watching One Piece. It's so good. I'm like, I might. And I I'd shit talk. I'm like, it's so fucking long. I'm not going to start it. And then one day I'm like, I have nothing else better to do. Why not start it? I mean, and it's good. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not hooked on it like, oh boy, I gotta fucking go home and watch One Piece for fucking 5 hours straight.
Yeah.
But I do, it's enjoyable, I will say that.
Which, I can't say like too much, because like, I was kind of the same way about JoJo's. Like, people were just pestering me to watch it, and I was like, that is the gayest shit I think I've ever seen in my life. And finally, I know, finally, I was like, whatever, I'll fucking watch it. Through a deal we made with, our old friend. And I was like, fine, whatever. And then that shit fucking took me by the collar and fucking pushed me against a wall. And I was into it. I was like, oh, so this is JoJo's.
Yeah, then, it made you call it daddy.
Yeah, fucking. And then that's like, I feel like JoJo's is like part of my personality now. Same with like 21 Pilots or some shit.
Hell, like your name is Bizarre. So.
I mean, yeah, it's based off. Which, I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, the name Bizarre is based off of JoJo's, as well as just the wacky, stupid shit that's on the channel.
True.
But at the base of it, it's JoJo's. And like, fuck, I mean, our logo for this podcast is directly JoJo's inspired. And
it really is.
Looking in front of me behind my desk, I have JoJo's everything. Well, not everything, but quite a bit of JoJo's just on my wall. So it's maybe One Piece would be the same. I don't think just thinking about it like subjectively, I don't think it would have the same effect. Like maybe I would enjoy it. I've heard of something called One Pace, where it's like the episodes without the filler. Like watch them in this order, so that way you don't have to fuck with the filler. Yeah, but even still, I mean, there's still got to be like hundreds of episodes.
I mean, it's like what, thousands? Is it 1,000 at 100 yet? 1,100?
I know for sure it's over 1,000. I don't know how much over 1,000. But like JoJo's has also been going on since like the 80s or 90s, I think. But like, it's not as long. The books are fairly short, or whatever. I need to finish
part 6. I have not finished it yet.
I'm fully caught up, except for the newest part that just came out, which is the JoJo Lens. I finished the anime of part 6, which reading wise, I didn't read any of part 1 through 6. I only watched the anime. And then part 6 ended, and I was like, shit, I need to read more.
I know after Stone Ocean, it gets like really weird. I mean, JoJo's itself is bizarre.
Oh, brother, don't even get me. I could sit here for. If we wanted to make this podcast JoJo's lore, I could sit you down and learn you something.
I figure we can save that for another day.
I do want to dive into it a little bit. So here's what happens.
Yeah, you're good.
Part 6 ends, and that's like kind of like the ending of like the main JoJo's that you know from part 1
I know
to 6.
It gets like the whole universe gets reset or something.
I don't think it has to do with any in-universe reason. I think it's just Araki. At first, when he made part 7, which is Still Ball Run, which I think is considered to be like the best JoJo's part, which
I mean, it has my favorite stand.
Oh yeah, fucking Scary Monsters.
Yes.
So part 7 is considered to be like the best part, but I mean, obviously, you know, it's down to personal opinion. I would probably rank it first or second, but when he first published it, he didn't even include like the JoJo's name with the manga, and it was also published in a different magazine. I don't think it was published in the Shonen Jump. I don't think. And it was geared more toward like a seinen audience, so like more like young adult. Like not necessarily gory or like adult themed, but you know, he
but it was still geared more towards more of a mature audience.
Yeah, it was supposed to be more mature, and I've noticed through parts 7 and 8, there's more of like a lesson you're supposed to learn through the series, which I mean, I guess you could say about the previous parts, but I feel like it's a lot more direct, and he's like, it just straight out tells you here's.
Yeah, I don't really know what you learned from the previous parts, especially part 3. What's the fucking lesson in there?
Shit, I would even say part 1. It's like, don't become a vampire. It's like, okay,
yeah,
noted. But part 7's really good. The thing is though, as much as I want to see it animated, I don't know if it will be, because which I think this is like the common sentiment. It's most of part 7, almost all of it, takes place on horseback, and horses are notoriously hard to animate, and that's like all it is.
A lot of companies tend to go towards the CGI route as well,
and like they could do CGI, and they've used CGI before in the past, obviously with JoJo's, and off the top of my head, I can't think of anything just absolutely awful that stands out. I'm sure there's like little snippets here and there, but like if like the main draw of the part is the horses, and the horses look bad, then what's the point?
Just gonna be a huge turn off.
Yeah, it's like it kind of ruins it. But man, the story to part 7 is great, the characters are great, the stands are cool, and that's kind of what he wanted to do. Araki was just expand on different stories, because I think by the time part 6 ended, he was kind of like, well, what now?
Yeah, because I mean, he did drag the Dio bit on for quite a while.
Yeah, literally every part in some way or form. Except
goes back to Dio.
I was gonna say except part 4, but even part 4 has like the arrow, which is like tied to Dio.
Well, part 2, I guess, doesn't really tie that much to Dio, except maybe the masks, but that's about it.
Yeah. I've been wanting to rewatch all the parts again. And I have the manga now. I have all of part 1 and 2. And I'm collecting 3, 4, and 5, which 5 might be just about done. So part 6 is probably going to start publishing soon. in English, which is nice.
Nice.
But, man, the English covers, it's hardcover or hardback, which is nice, but the covers are so boring compared to other countries.
Yeah.
They're kind of just plain. They're fun reads. And, like, I definitely suggest, obviously finish part 6 and then read part 7 and 8.
I will at some point, but...
I can't remember how long they are. I think maybe 90 or more chapters, but it's a good read.
There is one, before we go on to another topic, there is one anime I've been looking forward to that it's a manga, but it's finally getting an anime.
Yeah.
And its teasers and whatnot have been out. I think I've taught it before. It's called Kaiju No. 8. I think you got it for me. Did you not? Like, you got me.
Yeah, I think, because I bought it for myself, and I was like, Zeno would like this. And I was like, I still haven't read the first volume. I think I had the first.
It's so good. I'm not caught up with it anymore. I kind of fell off, but it's just because I kind of forget to go on and read it.
Yeah.
But it's very good. It's finally getting an anime. I think it comes out soon, but there's a bunch of teasers, and I think there's an actual trailer out. Came out not too long ago on Crunchyroll's YouTube channel, and I am very excited for it. I like the art style they're going with.
Yeah, I like the color palette and stuff about it, and I know nothing about the manga, but I feel like that might be one of those that is kind of heavily relied on CGI for like big monsters and stuff.
From what they showed a little bit in the trailer, it doesn't really look. I didn't really see much CGI, if any, at all.
Well, to be fair, they're not gonna showcase anything bad in a trailer.
That is also very true, but it looks promising, and I have high hopes for the actual anime.
Did you watch Chainsaw Man?
I did. I got caught up with the manga too, and then I was keeping caught up with like the new part of it. I guess you could call it season 2 of the manga.
I almost consider it, kind of like a JoJo thing, like part 2, because in a sense, it's kind of like like it's the same, but it's like completely different.
It's not like the whole same. It's like like you said, a little bit different. But I kind of fell off of it, and I'm not really caught up with it currently.
Yeah, and with the anime, I mean, I love the anime, I love the manga, but with the anime, there was definitely some, like, not great CGI. I mean, I say that as if I could do better, but some of it was like, maybe that wasn't the best.
There are definitely some moments where, like you said, it wasn't the best, but I'm excited for season 2 whenever that gets aired.
I forget where season 1 ended.
Where did it end?
Did it end after fucking Ponytail? I forget his name.
I think so. I can't.
I don't want to spoil anything, but
yeah, I can't remember. I think one of the last things I remember is when I can't remember his name. The guy who voices Nanami from JJK. When he's that guy he plays in JJK, or not JJK, Chainsaw Man, is training Power in Denji.
Okay. Yeah, how did you feel about like part 2? Because I started it, I think at the time there were only maybe 7 or less chapters out, and
there were definitely more when I started reading. I think I liked it. I liked how they wanted to kind of focus more off of Denji for a little while and introduce this new character, but at the same time, it's like the whole point is Denji. Like, he's the main. It's called Chainsaw Man. It's focused on him for the most part. Or I feel like it should be. But I did like the new character though. Like, there's nothing wrong
she
with
was cool.
I feel like they should have focused on him a little bit more.
Did that ever change from what you've read, or is it still he's kind of just there?
Been so long, I honestly don't remember. I think when I was reading it, like, he was starting to come back more into the picture. Like, it was kind of starting to focus more on. It's like doing a 50-50. Like, it'd focus on the new character and then Denji.
Yeah.
And then it was showing some other stuff that was going on. But like I said, it's been so long since I've read it. I don't really remember.
Speaking of reading it, are there any other manga that you've kind of been into recently? Or like any that maybe aren't as popular?
There's one. And the name of it, hold on, let me find the name of it, because I have read it online. What was it called? I don't remember what its actually English name is. Hold on 1 second. I don't remember the name of it, so if I think of it later, I will say it.
What's the rundown?
So basically, it's this older woman, right? Okay. So he's like 30 something. So he's not super old.
Damn.
What do you mean? Damn.
Older woman, almost 30, my boy. We're getting there.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I mean like older as in the other main character. Like he's like early 20s.
Okay.
Compared like old. I'm not meaning like he's old and senile.
I was about to say shit.
No. So the whole focus is C has a daughter. It's not really her biological daughter. It's her sister's daughter, but her sister and her husband died in a car crash.
Damn.
And so she had just turned 21, I think, once he adopted her, and because no one else wanted to take care of her.
Yeah.
And they were all like, "But you're throwing away your young." Yeah. Basically, you're throwing away your whole life to take care of a kid. It's like, I don't care. But one of the neighbors, they have is their son is the other main character. He was a bit older than the actual daughter, and he helped take care of her a little bit. But at one point, he kind of, fell in love with the woman, and then he never got over her. Like he never fell in love with anyone else, basically. And then now he's, I think, 20 something. Like I want to say he's 21, and she's probably like 32, I think.
Yeah.
And basically, he ends up confessing to her, and at first he's kind of like against it, but then she starts warming up to it a bit more and more.
Yeah,
it's like a nice little romance thing, but I like it. It's nice and wholesome.
I haven't really read anything. I was reading Black Clover when you got me into it, and I got caught up to that at one point. And
yeah, now that's seasonal.
Yeah, which is dumb. Which the shit they're doing with some anime now, like, I hate to bring it back to JoJo's, but with JoJo's Part 6, when they broke it up into like the batch seasons on Netflix, that was fucking stupid. Because it was like, watch 5 episodes, wait 8 months, and then here's another 5. That was just some dumb shit. I wish they would do it like weekly or all at once or whatever. So that way, you could at least talk about it as it's going, because now it's kind of like broken up, or like, if, like, for example, if me and you were watching it at the same time, it's like, well, you may be 3 episodes ahead of me because it's not a weekly show. So it's like, how are we going to properly discuss? And even like Attack on Titan, where it's like, here's 3 episodes, see you in a year.
They are drawing that out like fucking crazy. And I'm tired of I'm glad they finally have said that the final episode, supposedly.
They said that 2 times before.
I know they have. But hopefully this time they actually mean it. But we'll see. I still have not had any of it spoiled for me, and I don't know how. I don't know. I really don't know.
That's what I was afraid. That's what I was about to say. It was like, after that first time where it was like, oh, I can't wait to watch the final episode, and then it was like, to be continued, and I was like, what? And immediately I was like, okay, I've got to read this now, or else I'm gonna see some shit online that's gonna make me mad. So immediately I went and bought like the rest of the manga.
Yeah, I know you went like on a AOT streak for a while.
Yeah, that's all I read. It's in my Goodreads where I keep track of all the shit that I read. And for like a month, it was just not even a month. It was like a couple weeks, because I started from the beginning. Like, even though like I knew the story up until that point where the anime left off, I was like, well, I'm sure the manga has some stuff that the anime doesn't have. And there is a bit here and there, but I was like, might as well start from the beginning. And I did that. And because I think like the first volume of Attack on Titan was like one of the first manga that I ever bought. And so I just had it laying around.
Yeah, I don't know how. Basically, if I see anything AOT related, I usually just kind of skip it unless it's something I can actually see that I've seen before or know about. Then I'll watch it. And it's usually just previous scenes that have happened in the show. But I kind of just skip anything AOT related. Yeah,
I was just so worried. I was like paranoid, like a fucking schizophrenic that was like, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna know what happens, and I don't want to know. So I was just like, I've got to read it. And there's rumors that there's gonna be a anime only ending instead of like the manga ending.
I was gonna say, if that happens, you can tell me.
What, the original?
Yeah, you can tell me the original one if it actually turns out to be true. Because I know you've told me, and I've heard from other sources, from other people that finished it, that the manga ending is not very well liked.
Yeah, that's what I was about to lead into. It's like it's kind of like a controversial ending because some people like it, some people hate it, and I'm kind of right there in the middle where it's like it's not the best because
But it's not awful.
Yeah, because like you have this story that's been going on for so long. I mean, not nearly as long as like One Piece or whatever, but for a while. And it's like probably one of the most popular anime manga there is. And like all these things that is like, oh my god, he was planning it from the very beginning, blah blah blah. And all this really cool shit. And then just some stupid shit happens at the end. And it's like, where did this come from? And for those of you who've read the ending, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, this, what the fuck is this? And then it ends, and you're like, okay. And then it's just kind of this, like, almost bittersweet thing where it's like, I guess, like, in a way, certain events that happen, like, there's probably no other way that it could have happened. But then some of the other things, it's just like, why was this written this way?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if it's, we'll get one more episode and they'll be like, all right, 7 more months. And then we'll drop the last 2 episodes. So we'll see what they do. It would be interesting to see like an anime only ending and like what they could come up with. And honestly, watch them do an anime only ending and then make it worse than the manga ending. And then it's just like, now you got 2 kind of shitty endings and it's like, you got to pick your poison.
What shitty ending do you like more?
Yeah, so you should read it before it gets there. Which I mean, you've waited this long, so I doubt you're going to at this point.
I'm not going to. Yeah, no, I want to stick to my guns and wait.
If not, then I'll give you a detailed rundown of what happens if the anime changes at all.
Well, I guess kind of steering away from the anime topic for a little bit. Have you seen or watched anything new or played any games? I guess leaning more towards the spooky variety since it is spooky month.
I don't think so. Not like spooky wise.
Yeah.
What was the last horror game I played? Maybe I've been like Blair Witch or like the Dead Space remaster. Maybe that was last year though.
All I've really done lately, I mean, I think you were there the other day, but streamed some Isolation.
Yeah.
As usual. I usually do this time of the month. I played some spooky Minecraft because I really couldn't think of what else I could play. But I'm thinking about, cause I never actually played the Outlast series. I've seen countless playthroughs of them.
Yeah.
But I've never played it myself. So I'm like, I've never played it. Maybe I should give it a try.
It's interesting. I've never been a super big fan of games where you can't fight back. Yeah. Where it's like you can only hide and whatnot. And maybe I'm just fucking stupid. That's probably what it is. But that's why I can never get into like Amnesia.
I'm kind of with you there. That does kind of suck. I actually played Amnesia for the first time last year.
Was it the new Amnesia?
No, it's one of the older ones.
Oh, okay.
As another person's place, and they had it on their PlayStation, and they asked if I wanted to play it, so I played it. It scared the shit out of me a few times. But no, I'm with you on that. I don't like the fact that you can't fully fight back. Which in Alien Isolation, you can't really kill the alien, but you can defend yourself at least by scaring it off.
Yeah, I think it's like a pseudo thing, but there are like enemies in that game you can.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like the androids and the few humans you do encounter that are hostile, you can't actually kill them. The androids are a bit harder to kill, but you can do it.
Are there any games or spooky games or otherwise that are like coming out that you're looking forward to?
Other games, I'm trying to think if there's really anything, because everything that I was looking forward to this year has kind of already come out.
It's been kind of dry.
Baldur's Gate, I was looking forward to that, which I need to finish. Yeah. I was looking forward to that. Paleo Pines, which I need to buy. That's that, Animal Crossing meets farming simulator sort of dinosaur game.
Yeah.
And then I don't have a PS5. And I'm kind of meh to it, but I would like to play the new Spider-Man, which I know you do have it.
Yeah, it came out at 6 p.m. Our time on Thursday, and I didn't think it would be available until midnight because I'm just so used to like midnight releases or fucking like a decade ago. And then I was like, oh, it's about to come out, but my fiance wanted to watch me play it, so because she's way more. I mean, I love Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero there is. But lore-wise, she is all up in its ass. So she was excited, just as excited as me for it to come out. Yeah. And so she was working, so I was like, well, I'll just wait till she gets off and we'll start it. And I played a little while that night for a couple hours until I had to go to bed for work the next morning. And then I left work early so I could come home.
So you could play?
Yeah. And then I played it most of yesterday evening for a few hours. I played it a few hours today. And then as soon as she's off work again, I'm going right back to it. And then it'll probably be all day tomorrow. It's really good, especially on the PS5. It has like the ray tracing stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing
I've heard
noticed,
good things about it.
Yeah, and the fast travel is so cool. It's like in the previous games, it's like you unlock like subway stations, and then on the PS5 it's instant. I want to say on the PS4 when you fast travel, there's like a little cutscene of you on the subway real quick.
Yeah, it's like you're on a subway, and then like little sometimes special encounters will happen. Like someone will ask for your autograph or something. Yeah,
on the PS5, I guess it's so fast that it doesn't even have that. It's just you're there. But on Spider-Man 2, the way fast travel works is like you have to get each district to a certain level, and on the second level you unlock fast travel for that whole district. So what you can do is, like, let's say you want to go somewhere in the financial district, you can pick anywhere you want to go, and then just click it to fast travel, and then immediately it's like you're there, no matter where you were, what you were doing. It's just like instantaneous, and it's fucking crazy.
That is pretty cool.
But it's just cool little stuff like that.
See, Spider-Man, he wasn't always my favorite. I mean, he was up there as one of my favorites, but like I wasn't like, my number one Marvel hero was Iron Man. Yeah. So if they ever made an Iron Man game similar to Spider-Man one, I'd probably be freaking out about it.
Yeah.
But honestly, the real reason I just come and play the new one is because of the Lizard and Venom are in it.
Yeah. Have you ever played the VR Iron Man game?
I've played it. Yeah, I played it at your place one time, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's right. My PSVR has been, which that was for the PS4, that has been tucked away in a closet for a while now.
Mine has not been used for a while either.
And I want to get the new Quest, the Quest 3. I had a Quest 2 briefly, and then I was like, I'm never gonna fucking use this, so I just turned it back in. But I want to get the Quest 3 because I saw that there's like a piano program where, you know, like those like, let's say you want to learn a song or something on the piano, and like the video has like the notes kind of trickling down, and then you just try to match what you play.
Yeah.
Well, the VR has this like augmented reality thing, or integrated reality, where you have the headset on, but you can see out as if you're looking, and so you can see yourself playing your piano, but like the trickling notes is happening in real time, like on your piano. So like you can just play as you're watching it, and it looks so cool. And I've been wanting to get back into the piano for a while, and I think that would be a fun little thing to do that with.
That is pretty neat. Yeah, I've been wanting to get back into my guitar, picking that back up.
My guitar has been sadly sitting next to me for a while now. I fucking
mine's been in a corner.
I went all out. I bought the guitar, I bought the stand, I bought the amp, I bought a strap and some picks and blah blah blah. And then I played it for a week.
Yeah, mine's basically the same scenario. I got the case, picks, and an amp, stand, strap, and it's just sitting in a corner.
Mine is covered in hentai stickers.
Nice. Mine is covered in dust.
And dust, yeah. It's just sitting there. And
but going back to VR, I would love to have a VR to actually just play VR chat.
Yeah.
And then was it Blades and Sorcery? Is that VR game that I'm thinking of?
I think
is
so.
That the name of it? You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, I've seen clips on like TikTok.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of cool mods for it. I would love to play it.
Yeah, that's one of the fun ones. There's a bunch of VR stuff that I would like to do. How do you feel about VR porn?
VR porn?
Yep.
I don't know.
I wonder. I've never searched it because this thought just occurred to me. But I know for a fact there's VR porn. It? No. Hold on. I know there's VR porn. I wonder if there's VR hentai.
Oh. First you had my attention. Now you have my full erection.
Oh my god. I don't know. That's just a thought. Creators out there, get to work. You got some creating to do.
Yeah, do the world a favor.
What's your speaking of hentai in a way? Any waifus or even husbandos. I don't judge. Do you've
like recent ones or?
Yeah, I guess recently. Like in the past year or so.
Yor from Spaaaaace family.
Not Anya.
That's a spy. What the fuck did you just say?
What?
What did you just say?
I think you cut out. Yor, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Yor. I absolutely love Yor. Let's see. Any more waifus? This has kind of been happening progressively, but I've come to like Aqua from Konosuba more than the other two, actually.
Who was your original Megaman?
Yeah, I think when I first watched it when we were back in high school, was Megaman.
Man, I haven't thought about Konosuba in a minute. That was a good one, and they've come out with like a movie recently, maybe even a couple movies, but I don't think the anime's picked back up yet.
I don't think it has. They're talking about it though. I know it is in the works. But back to the waifu thing, Yuritsi, I can't fucking pronounce her name right, from Bleach. If you saw her, you know who I'm talking about. But god damn.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. No. She's definitely up there as well as one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Husbandos though. I mean, I don't really swing that way for the most part, but I'll say Lloyd also from Spy Family is.
Damn, you just all about Spy Family.
Yeah, I mean they're both good looking characters.
I don't think I've had an anime husbando recently, but video game husbando, fucking Astarion from Baldur's Gate 3. God dang.
Oh, we're talking about games and stuff too? Oh, then let me tell you about my wife, Shadowheart.
Let me introduce you to the love of my life.
Yeah, no, I think you were probably there, but I'm still, I guess kind of am, but was absolutely obsessed with Shadowheart. I know a lot of people were all over Karlach, which is understandable.
Me. Yeah.
But Shadowheart for me, completely different level. I don't know what it is about those types of girls. I fucking love them.
My relationship with those characters, I feel, is a little different. For me, in game, Karlach would be like my soulmate in game, like my character.
Yeah.
She's great. I love her. Astarion, sex, 24/7.
Yeah.
Rough, passionate. Very good.
See, I know a lot of people are like obsessed with Astarion lately. And, when I first ran into him like at the beginning of the game, I was like, "Fuck this guy, I hate him," because he didn't like any of the shit that I would say for my character.
Yeah.
But I was also just trying to get Shadowheart to max likeness right off the bat.
Well, she's really difficult too, because like it feels like she's so like wishy-washy of like, she will change.
Without spoiling stuff, it's all to do with like her whole, because she's a cleric. It's all about her lore, and she's kind of like, if it doesn't affect her or help her in any way in achieving her goals, she really doesn't care.
Yeah.
But once you start getting her to like you more, basically you just be a decent person and you'll kind of get her to like you, but she'll start siding with you a whole lot more. But going back to Astarion, when towards, I guess, mid game, when he started with joking with my character and like making jokes that I thought were actually fun, I'm like, you know what, I kind of like this guy. You know what?
See, that's cool. That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, if it came down to it, I would let this vampire man have his way with me.
Yeah. Speaking of other characters from the game, a character I'm complete opposite about is Gale. I don't give a flying fuck about.
Gale's a cuck, dude.
He is. No, see, what's really funny, so this has happened like after basically, I would say, the main part of Shadowheart's quest. And after you finish it, and it's very serious, and it actually impacts, you know what I'm talking about, the part 2 of the game.
Yeah.
If you time to form a relationship with her and you got her like the max likeness, he's like basically says, "How do you feel about us?" It's like, "I want to be with you," this sort of thing. Obviously, I said yes automatically with no hesitation.
Yes. God.
I'm like, yes. But as soon as I said that, I guess Gale thought we were a thing or something, or we had something going on. Like, he thought we were being flirty. I was just being nice to the guy.
That's what I'm saying. Gale's a little fucking cuck boy, dude. He's just like, you watched my magic? You want me to suck your dick?
You want sex?
I'll do it. And it's like, get off of me. Who are you?
But he literally turns like as soon as I get done talking to Shadowheart, a little exclamation mark comes above his head.
Talk to you.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, what is it, Gale? Thinking it was about what just happened, and it kind of was. It's like me or her. Who was it? I'm like, bro, it's not even close. Shadowheart all the way. I think... It's like, oh, I see. We can still be friends though, right? I'm like, yeah, sure, bud.
Sure.
And he said it'll hurt. It'll take some time to get used to it, but I'll get used to it. And then every now and then he'll try to say something like, just piss off, dude. Shadowheart is with me. I'm with Shadowheart. You know, no one.
My girl.
my woman.
My woman. Yeah. As soon as I knew about Karlach, I was like, she a baddie for real. And then if not for Karlach, it would definitely be Astarion. And if not for Astarion, it would definitely be Shadowheart. Never in a million years would it be Gale. Fucking Gale. Would it be
Will?
Will's he's okay. He reminds me, he's got like the golden retriever energy.
He really does.
It would be
and then
fucking
Lae'zel.
Fuck Lae'zel, dude.
Yeah.
She's the easiest, as far as I know, to romance. Fuck
Who?
a bitch named Lae'zel. No, Lae'zel.
Oh, Lae'zel. Oh, yeah, you just have to be a badass and kill things. He's like, I want you. I'm like, okay.
Give me dick. She sounds just like that.
yeah. When, like, after you complete, like, your first, like, major thing in Act 1, and, you know, you get to choose which character you get to stay the night with or do something romantic with. She's like, sleep with me. I'm like, no thanks. I think I straight up said, yeah, I'll think about it. And then I went to Shadowheart. I'm like, hey, what you doing?
I don't even think I gave her like a maybe. I was just like, I'm good. And then I left.
No, I did talk to all of them just because I wanted to see. I like talking to each other characters and listening to their dialogue, see what they have to say. And I usually will say no to everything if it's anything romantic, unless it's Shadowheart and it's just automatic. Yes, how can I please you, my queen?
See, I know Shadowheart's kind of similar with Karlach because you kind of have to play the long game. Because Karlach, you can't touch her because she's hot. And I play a tiefling in mine, so like I can handle heat a little bit, but not to that degree.
Yeah.
So like you kind of gotta wait it out until you make a move. So it's kind of sad because on that night in Act 1, she's like, I want you, but if you want to go with someone else tonight, since we can't be together, then I won't be mad. And I was like, I would never hurt you.
Is that the one like where the clip is like, it's like, God, I'd ride you till you see stars or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
And I was like, please, God, if you hear me, give my woman an ice bath.
I was so... Like, yeah, the Shadowheart is, like you said, is also a long game, but man, when it got to it, I was so happy. I'm like, yes, finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, Shadowheart, she's a baddie.
Yeah, she's still got some other side story stuff going on right now. I mean, they are also important, but they weren't as important, I'd say, as Act 2. Or I guess kind of equally important.
I'm still in Act 3. I haven't even finished, and I think I'm like 90 something hours.
I'm on Act 3, so last one. Yeah. I'm on it too.
I think you're similar, where it's like, I just put in so much time those first couple weeks.
Yeah.
I burned myself out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I still want to play, and I want to finish it, and I would even like to, play another story with a different character, but it's like, I just can't. I tried to play a couple nights ago. And I think I was on there for like 10 minutes, and I was like, I can't right now.
That's why for me, when games like that, I have to have like an hour or two cleared of doing nothing, because I can't just sit and play for like 20 minutes. It's just, there's so much to do. Yeah. But yeah, I figured it'd probably be the same situation with me, because I do kind of play it, but I'm like, I know if I sit down, I'm not going to be on it long. I'm just going to be like, this, no, just not now. And it also didn't help that I had like a bunch of other different playthroughs going on at the same time.
Yeah, you did have
like
you did
other
have a
people.
Few.
Yeah. And I also went and made a new character just because I wanted to.
Yeah.
Just for my own. I made Weiss from Ruby. So I think I told you I went back and I'm still not fully caught up because I watched Volume 9, but I'm almost completely caught up with Ruby. So I got back on the Weiss train as per usual.
Weiss train. See. Yep. Similar to a lot of games, like character creation is like not the best part, but I mean it's D&D, so it's like that shit's fun. Yeah. And like the backstories in Baldur's Gate 3 don't really matter because it's mostly headcanon anyway. But like, I like making those stories or whatever. Yeah. And just like making different characters, and like this one's a circus freak, and then like I run at you with my cock out, but who knows if we'll even ever get back to that point.
which I'm sort of giving time. Yeah, we'll probably get back on that. Also, I'm still in a D&D mood because I think I told you recently one of my friends got married, and for his bachelor party we did like a. It was just gonna be a one shot, but it turned into a whole actual thing, and we're gonna start doing it more often. But I made probably one of my favorite characters, Nocturne, the owl person, who was fucking unhinged and bit a man's head off.
We my fiance and I, we started doing a little D&D group with some of my old coworkers. I'm not the DM. I could actually play this time. He had started it up, and then there's only a few of us, and we've only had one session so far. We didn't meet this week, so we're gonna meet next week. But it's fun. It's a homebrew campaign.
See, I would like to do something like that.
We need to start back. Ours.
We really
need to start ours back up at some point.
It's just, I mean, it's so hard. I mean, with the other two, honestly, it's not that hard because the other two...
Nothing but time. And I know they're not listening to this right now, but fuck you both.
But when it comes to us two, our schedules do not line up. I especially feel like for me, personally, because we all know how my fucking work schedule is. Yeah,
but even then, it's like, at least me and you used to have the same off days. Yeah. But now, like, I'm off on the weekends, and you're off on those 2 weekdays. So it's like, it's just hard to... Like, now, we wouldn't be recording today unless you had this time off.
Yep. I'm gonna start trying to do more often. I think one of my old friends, when they worked at the same place I work at now, they would just go in and request off random weekends. So I think I'm gonna start doing that. Yeah, just to give myself some weekends off.
If for anything, it's at least like some mental health days. Because I mean,
for sure.
Like, fuck retail. Fuck everything about retail.
Retail sucks ass.
Like, I don't want to go back to it. And that's all I've known, like, up until this point.
Yeah.
And
like, I'm trying to get out right now.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do, truth be told. Like, breaking off from, like, games into just, like, personal stuff. I don't know what fucking career I want to go into. Like, I'm graduating in literally, like, 2 weeks with a cybersecurity degree. I don't want to do cybersecurity for the rest of my life. It makes fucking good money, and I want to take some of that money, put it in my pocket, and then go away. But, like, for personal, like, goal, I don't know what the fuck I want.
Yeah, that is the great mystery and question of life, I guess, is what to fucking do with your time that you're given.
As a kid, was there anything that, like, you were like, this is what I'm going to be?
Paleontologist, for
that
sure.
Makes perfect sense.
Yes. And I still would like to do it, and I know people are like, well, don't let stuff like this hinder you from doing your dreams, but I know they don't make a ton of money. I don't remember how much they make. Plus, I listened to a few podcasts. I know one they were talking about one time that a lot of times when you become a paleontologist, most of it is like I won't say essays, but like paperwork, I guess. Like, you're not really out in the field like a lot of people want to be and like actually digging. For the most part, you're going to be like either in a museum writing stuff, or you might get to look at some fossils.
I was going to say, I feel like the limited knowledge I know about paleontologists, or really anyone in that sort of field, is mostly just like not as much field work like you were saying, but it kind of seems like they just do like research papers or like educational type books.
Essentially, is what I found out and learned is that's majority of what they do. Like I said, a few of them do actually get to go out and dig and discover new things and whatnot.
You know what's made me kind of depressed recently?
What?
That I'll probably never get to go to space.
Yeah, that does suck.
I would love to go to space.
You love space.
I love space.
Space is pretty cool.
I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, there's just no way. Just like mathematically.
Yeah.
The amount of possible universes there are, and then the amount of galaxies within those universes, it's like there has to be some sort of like life, whether it be intelligent or not. But then it's more fun to think about intelligent. And it's like there could be whole fucking civilizations out there. Yeah. And then it's like we're just the dumb fucking ape people like, on the blue planet.
See, something, and I love seeing it because, you know, it kind of dies in a Warhammer a little bit because, you know, you got like, you know, humans, you got orcs, like space orcs. Yeah. A lot of people like to make the funny meme that humanity would be space orcs for if like other intelligent life came in, because we're just so fucking aggressive and we're like, I guess
now,
monkey
if
style.
we're going by Warhammer rules, if life is like Warhammer, I'm okay with us being alone.
Yeah, no. If life was like Warhammer, it would be actual hell.
Yeah, as cool as it would be to be a space marine,
if you even got to survive that.
Yeah. Where we are now as humans, we probably wouldn't like thinking if there's like alien life already here, or like at least visiting whatever. It's like, one, they already have the technology to be here. We don't.
Yeah.
So it's like we're already behind.
We're outclassed.
Yeah, and I don't know if we'll ever get to the point where like we ourselves create this technology. I feel like it has to be one of those scenarios where it's like other life forms just pity us because we're so fucking stupid.
And they come in and help.
It's like, look, you fucking idiot, just put this there and you got it. And then we're like, oh, thank you. And then now we can fucking space travel. But,
and you know, we can be the space monkeys we were meant to be.
Yeah, and we die in the sun like real men.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I'll probably never get to go to space. I think for like I would say short term, not really short term, but like closer to what my degree is in, I would love to work for NASA. I mean, it would be like cybersecurity, but still, I could be like, yeah, I fucking work for NASA.
I mean, imagine, here's the most depressing thought. Imagine all the space waifus we are missing out on.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, let that sink into your brain, people. All the space waifu and husbandos we're missing out on right now because we stupid.
Space anime?
Yeah, space anime. I mean, who knows what's out there?
God, just the most boring shit.
Kind of going back to Warhammer for a second, that made me think something. So it was a TikTok sort of thing. I sent it to our Irish friend.
Yeah.
It was, and this guy pops up on my page every now and then. He'll post a question, and his question was, and I'll ask this to you: if you could be any super soldier, so like Captain America, like you could take that whole serum or test or whatever, to become that type of super soldier, like a Warhammer, Space Marine, or a Spartan from Halo. So you get transported to that universe, and you'd have to go through the whole process. So if it's a very painful process, you'd live through it, and if it's like a low survival rate, you would make the survival rate.
Yeah.
And then once you became that super soldier, if it was outside of our universe, you'd get transported to back to our universe. And then the people that turned you into whatever you wanted to be cannot follow you. So it's not like they'll follow you back to take you back to.
So like you'd come back to this reality, but you still have those.
You are still that super soldier, yeah. So would you do it? And if so, what kind of super soldier would you be?
I don't think I would. Just because every immediate super soldier I can think of, even Captain America, it's like life in the Marvel universe probably fucking sucks. It's like if you're just a regular dude, it's like, well, my car blew up, aliens invaded again. Too bad I can't afford insurance. Guess I'm walking to work. And
but I mean, fired. Like it's not like you have to deal with it, because I mean, once you become the super soldier, you get transported back to
but like
our universe.
One, I would be the one doing the damage, and two, it's like I would never know peace again.
Yeah, because especially if you were especially like a Spartan from Halo or a Space Marine from Warhammer, a lot of countries would want you.
Yeah, and at that point, especially if you're like a Space Marine or like a Spartan, it's like you're following orders 24/7. Whereas Captain America, he could at least kind of do his own thing. Yeah,
because I mean, just you alone would turn the tide of battle in a lot of situations.
I feel like the easier answer out of the, like, if it's just Space Marine, Captain America, or Spartan, I think
those are the only three I can think of.
Yeah, those are the only three I can think of too. Of those three, a Spartan would probably be the easiest.
From what I've heard, apparently their whole process is pretty grueling too.
Yeah, to like become a Spartan. I'm thinking more of like the life of.
Oh yeah.
Because like Captain America, you're with the Avengers, so you're dealing with fucking universe-ending stakes 24/7. Space Marine, you're a Space Marine.
I mean, you've got the Halo rings that wipe out all lives, so it's not like they're having it any easier.
Yeah, but like think about like Halo for a minute. typically, you know, Spartans or whatever, when we think of Spartan, we probably just immediately think of Master Chief.
Yeah.
So, like, he's the one dealing with that shit. I would just be another
you just
Spartan.
Want to be the background Spartan that's not doing nothing.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, I'm killing some fucking grunts here and there. But it's like, I'm not seconds away from a Halo ring blowing up and destroying the world or whatever. Or
riding with the Arbiter on a Warthog.
Yeah. I would just be jerking off and, like, hoping for the best. And
it's like, Chief's got this.
Yeah, it's like, my suit can make me calm. I'm good. Whereas, like, Captain America, he's fucking busy. A Space Marine, you're in Warhammer, so you're fucked. It's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Deny the fucking God Emperor and be thrown into the ship?
I mean, if you deny the God Emperor, you either get murdered or you go and join with either one of the other fucking massive demon heretics or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, he can be a follower of Korn, which is what I would do. Yeah, you just war 24/7, skulls for the skull throne and all that.
Now, what is your answer to that question?
Probably similar. I would take it, and I would choose Spartan from Halo.
Well, would you say Doomslayer is a super soldier?
Oh yeah, Doomslayer for sure. Then if we're counting him, then yes, Doomslayer. Actually,
I mean, that's the same thing though. It's like,
for the most part,
except with him, you are the main character. I guess you'd be the main character with Captain America as well, but like, but it's like you're always doing shit.
Yeah, Doom guy would count too, especially like in the newer games, because he actually was enhanced.
Yeah.
So yeah, he does count. So I would say I'd probably go with him.
I would say cool wise, he's probably the coolest of the four.
For sure.
Because you're literally feared by demons.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he's too angry to die too.
Having statues of you in hell because they're so afraid of you. That's
like, cool. we gotta watch out for this one guy.
Don't look at him. You will die. Does his suit make him come?
I'm sure it could if he really wanted to. I'm sure he's just constantly coming from killing demons, though.
Guys, in the comments, let me know if Doomslayer can come in his suit.
Please, this is a life important question.
Speaking of questions, as we're ending up here, we asked some of you fuckers on the Discord and YouTube to ask us some questions that we could answer here on the podcast. Now, I don't know if we'll do this every week, but we'll ask away.
We'll do it every now.
We feel the time is coming. But Zeno, you can go ahead and start listing some of these questions from these people.
All right. Well, I guess we'll start from the top. From Faye, they asked what made us start streaming.
I'll let you go first with that one.
I guess what made me start streaming is, I guess we can kind of all relate to this. Growing up, you watch YouTubers and streamers, and you're like, I enjoy playing games, so I figured I'd turn that into a side thing, and I don't stream as much as I would like, but I guess it's kind of, why I started streaming, because it just seems so enjoyable, and I do have fun streaming, and I know I'm probably not the most entertaining or talkative person. I'm working on it, but I do enjoy just streaming. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just something nice to do. It's kind of my own little world, I guess one could say, from everything else.
You are the master.
Yeah. So what made me start streaming? I don't know. Just inspired from all the other streamers I watch. What about you?
Well, what made me start? I don't know. It's like, I was going to say growing up, you see all these people on YouTube and whatnot. But then, I don't know about you, but for me, I wasn't really introduced to YouTube until I was like, I don't know, 11 or 12. So like up until that point, I didn't know about streaming or like online gaming. I mean like online gaming, but like content creation for online gaming, whatever. Like I just wasn't aware of it. And then especially for like Twitch. I mean, Twitch back then was, a new thing.
Yeah, it wasn't really that popular.
Yeah. So it's like when I started learning of those things, I was like, you can do this for a living? So I thought that was cool. I never thought, nor do I think, that'll become like a full-time job, as cool as that would be. But like for me, building a community on YouTube and then bringing some of those people over to Twitch, which not everyone does, because even for me, like on YouTube, I love Uber Hexer Nova, always have, always will. but he streams,
Yeah.
and I can't really watch Twitch streams, but I like streaming myself.
Yeah.
So it's just fun to like interact with everyone that, you know, likes your stuff or
Yeah, that's
whatever.
I like to add that on to something like it's just I enjoy, I guess, bringing a community together, meeting a bunch of cool people, you know, and just making, because I mean, I'm sure you can attest to this, watching YouTubers and then when we started somewhat watching streams, I mean, it made you feel good. Like it's something you enjoy doing. Like you'd come home from like school or work, and like you might have had a really shitty day. Your favorite streamer or YouTuber released a video or they're live, and it just makes your day like a shit ton better. You know, this is something I feel like I would like to kind of return back to the community and help other people get through some pretty shitty things.
And that's another thing. It's like I'm already playing games, so it's like might as well fucking talk to people while I play.
Next question we have from our good old friend Hop. Let's see. The first question they asked was, why the fuck did y'all act like cats and create clans when y'all were kids?
Did we tell this story in the first episode?
I think so. I know we've talked about it a few times in the stream.
Yeah.
It's a long story for the most part. There was a book series called Warriors, and it was about cats. And I don't know, we're in that middle age of life, I guess, where you're like just super cringe. Yeah. And we thought it would be super cool to create our own little clans and act like
God.
act like cats and make our own names. I mean, there really isn't a good answer. We were just cringy little. We were
cringy kids.
Yeah,
it's what kids do.
But they did. But the next question, also from Hop, is ever travel out of country? If not, where's the farthest? I have not traveled out of country. I would love to. Would absolutely love to. Farthest I've been from home though was probably been Chicago. It's probably the furthest I've ever been. And it was fun. I went there on a school trip in band. Yeah. And got to see what are they called? The Blue Guys? The Blue Men Group? The Blue Men Group. Got to see them. It was pretty cool. Yeah. I got my picture taken with them. Went up to Sears Tower.
Jumped off?
Yeah. I did sit in the like little skybox that hangs out over the city. I did sit down in that, and I'm terrified of heights. And it was nerve-wracking. I was so fucking scared.
I'd be scared.
Yeah, but I think that's probably the furthest I've been. I would love to go to, I think the top 3 places I would love to go to is Japan, obviously.
Of course.
Australia. Yes. And then probably Ireland.
Yeah, I agree with those choices as well. Also, maybe New Zealand. That'd be a fun place to visit.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad.
Wasn't Lord of the Rings filmed in New Zealand?
It was filmed in New Zealand.
So that would be a
good chunk of it. Yeah.
At least for like the Shire stuff for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be cool. I also have not traveled out of country. I have traveled most to every state. I've never been to Alaska and I've never been to Hawaii. But I think at some point or another in my life, I've been to every other state. My dad, when I was a wee boy, used to drive freight trucks. So a lot of times I would just go with him to wherever the fuck. And the earliest I can remember is in Santa Monica in California. And during that time, they were doing the Herbie Fully Loaded movie had just come out. Or was coming out. Or maybe it was the second movie. I don't know. Either way, they were about to do like a red carpet thing. And on the way there, we came across the guy who had the car that was like used for the movie. And I think my dad took some pictures of me with it. But they were like on their way to like the red carpet thing. And it was just some random fucking gas station. And my dad took some pictures of me with this little fucking Herbie car. Recently, nowhere like super recent, went out to Salt Lake City a couple years ago. But that's like the furthest I've been within like the past 5 years.
Yeah, like my Chicago trip was probably about, I don't know, 8 years ago, if not longer.
Yeah.
Like that was like probably freshman year. That was freshman year of high school. Yeah, I don't have time or the money right now to really go. I would love to, but I don't have any time to go places.
Yeah.
And then Hop asked another question. Biggest flex.
Biggest flex.
Yeah. which I can't really think any at the top of my head.
Yeah.
I will say one, I don't know if you'd call it a flex, but one of my favorite moments, and it might not be one of your favorite moments. So back in high school, during lunch, we would have like an hour to eat and go to different classes and get,
fuck around.
Yeah, fuck around, essentially, or get help on stuff. Or you go sit in a library. Our group, Bizarre and I's group, would love to go to the library and just fuck around. And we played a card game called BS. Was essentially, if you don't know what it is you put an ace down. You start it off with an ace, and then you just kind of go around and you have to put the next card like in line, or you can put a fake card. Well, not a fake, but like the wrong card down and say that's the one you have. You put them face down, obviously, so no one sees. And if someone thinks you're lying, and they call BS on you, and you are lying, you have to take the entire stack. But if you were telling the truth and they call BS on you, they have to take the entire stack. Well, we were playing one day, and it was me, then Bizarre. We both had one card left. I did not have the right card. I think I was supposed to have a 10, and I had like a 8. So I placed it down. And for anyone could call BS on me, which I think someone was about to, Bizarre, I think you were pretty excited because he hadn't won a game before, threw his card down and said, I won. And I'm like, actually, I won.
Actually.
And the look on your face was priceless. And I think I laughed for like a solid minute. You looked so defeated.
My soul shattered.
You thought you finally had won a game, and man, if you had just waited, you would have won.
It'll always haunt me.
I think that's, for right now, the biggest flex I can think of. I've had a few flexes in games or whatnot where I've, done better than I thought I could do.
Yeah.
But nothing really comes to mind. Yeah.
My biggest flex that I can think of right now is when Meat Canyon donated to me on Twitch and talked in chat for a minute. That was really cool. That happened to my old Twitch channel that I will not talk about. But I was streaming Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and I used his Yu-Gi-Oh! Video art as like the tweet, I think, and I added him. And it was like, just to give credit. And I was like, hey, I'm streaming Duel Links, come hang out. Just as like a general message. And then added him for the picture for credit for the art. And then like sometime during the stream, I get a donation for, it was just like $3. But I was like, oh, thanks for the donation. And then I read the name, it was like Meat Canyon. And I was like, and I was like, are you the real Meat Canyon or whatever? And then he was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then I checked it out and he was the real deal. And then he chit-chatted for a second. And I was basically like, I love you. And I was starstruck just because he came out and tossed me some bones, and it was a cool, fun time.
I will say, kind of something similar. I will say this kind of come to mind. A big flex for me, not really something you would care about because you're not a huge Ruby fan, but I have other friends that are also massive Ruby fans like I am. Yeah. You were there, but we went to a convention one year, and the main cast, like voice actresses, they were there, and I got to meet every single one. And I got a picture with 2 of them, and I got a signature from all of them. And my other friends are huge Ruby fans. Anytime they start trying to talk about Ruby and try to one-up me in merch, I'm like, well, I actually got to meet them. So that's usually the big flex I go for.
Both of your flexes are like, actually.
they kind of are. Actually.
I've never met, like, convention-wise. Like, the only person at a convention that I met that I really, really wanted to meet was Roger Clark, which we both met him at the same time.
Yeah.
And he was really cool. He plays Arthur Morgan, for those who don't know. But other than that, like, we've met people there, but I didn't really, like, care about them. Now, like, if it was, like, Matthew Mercer or someone, which,
for sure.
Once upon a time, I would have said Troy Baker. And part of me still wants to meet Troy Baker just for Joel. Mm-hmm. But, man, Troy Baker, I lost so much respect for him when he was doing that crypto shit. And then he doubled down on it, and I was like, okay.
If we're talking about, I know we're not really answering questions anymore. But, we're talking, we have derailed, but I'm going to go to that real quick, talking about wanting to meet people. I would have loved to go to TwitchCon this year, and I know I've talked to you about it, but I've been on a huge VTuber binge. I mean, I like VTubers, but here recently, I've been on a massive one. But a lot of my favorite VTubers were at TwitchCon this year, and I would have absolutely have loved to meet them.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and for those of you listening, like, I don't know if y'all watch any VTubers or anything like that, but the one specifically that I'm referring to is Cinder and Bal, and those were really the only big two that I would have loved to meet. And I guess, no, Iron Mouse was there too, so I would have loved to meet Iron Mouse, but I love
Was she there in person,
though? No, she can't. Because
I was going to say, she I don't think she's ever...
No, she's there, no, she does a... like a video
virtual
thing, virtual, yeah, they have it linked up, but they had her like on a little iPad this year, and had her like connected to like a little remote control scooter, essentially, that she could drive around.
That's
and
funny.
If any of you want Sea Dog VA,
I was about to say, was he there?
Yeah, he's there. He had a whole his booth. Also, you could write any or draw anything you wanted on it.
Yeah.
But she followed him around for a little bit, and she made him draw her cinnamon roll, which is a character she really likes, and him on it. I mean, she kept ramming his leg with the scooter while he's trying to draw. But yeah, no, he was there too. He didn't. He wasn't doing pictures or anything though.
Still, God, just to meet him.
He's been live streaming it.
Yeah, but again, we've derailed this completely, and I know we're both just kind of gushing at this point. One, him and Iron Mouse are so cute together.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Two, I love Sea Dog. He's like a big reason I wanted to do voice stuff, and I mean, you know, them and Trash Taste and all that. It's just, I mean, fuck, our logo is like low key based off the Trash Taste logo.
Yeah,
and I love them a lot, so that would have been really cool to meet them. But it's in Vegas, and we are nowhere near Vegas.
And Vegas is expensive.
Yeah, and kind of spooky.
Yeah. Now, should I somehow get the money to go next year? Oh, I will, especially if those same people are going to be there.
Which I'm sure they will be.
Yeah. But do you want to do one more question before we round it off?
Yeah, let's do the final question.
All right, let's see who's going to be the lucky dog. From Natalie, they asked, "What's your favorite game of all time?"
Fuck, of all time.
That is a good question. I've got a few. I think the number one game that comes to my mind, and I think I say it is mine, is, those of you who know me, I'm a huge dinosaur nerd. I love dinosaurs, especially Jurassic Park. It's an old game for PS2, Xbox, and PC called Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. Now, y'all know what Jurassic World Evolution is, a new park builder game. This is the
OG.
This is the OG of it. It was so fun. I remember begging my parents for it, and I got it for Christmas, and it was in one of the, I don't know if they still do it, but I know you probably remember what I'm talking about. If you bought any pre-owned games from GameStop, if they didn't have the actual case for it, it was just like a random either cover or just like a blank cover. That just and I got it, and I'm like, well, what is this? And I opened it, and there's the disc, and I lost my shit. I loved it, and I would play it constantly. But I think that's probably my number one. And then a few other ones that come close. No surprise, they're also dinosaur related. It's The Isle, Path of Titans. I love Star Wars, and Battlefront is another really good one, like the OG Battlefront 2. I love that game. Baldur's Gate 3 is probably up there, honestly, now. It's a very good game.
Yeah.
Minecraft. I love Minecraft.
Classic.
So, yeah. Those are probably the top 5, I would say.
Yeah, I think I agree with some of those. Some of the classics that, like, probably aren't going anywhere. I mean, like, most recently, Baldur's Gate 3, like you said. Minecraft's a classic. As far as, like, memories-wise, like, that I remember having the best time on, like, I think there's been countless hours and just fun time spent with friends playing the original Overwatch, Rainbow Six. Not now. Now those games suck ass.
Yeah.
But back in the day, in the high school days, the first Destiny game.
I was about to say, we can't forget about Destiny. That's definitely up there, too. Not D2, but D1.
D1 might be number one for me. Nostalgia-wise and just, like, fondness. Thinking back on.
We made a shit ton of memories on there.
I mean, that's all we did for, like, years. Like after school or after y'all's practice or whatever.
that one time we had driver's ed in school one year, and or one day, and we were taking the weekly reset, like the nightfall, and it was fucking what's her name?
I know who
Omnigul. It was Omnigul, and I screamed like, "It's fucking Omnigul again!" Because I think it was Omnigul for like two resets in a row or something like that.
Yeah.
And I got so mad because, for those of you who don't know, Omnigul was a bitch, especially when it came to Nightfall. If any of you played Destiny, Nightfall, Omnigul, awful. I hated it. It's probably one of the worst strikes.
So that's probably number one for that reason. Otherwise, like, it's hard to pinpoint an exact game. The Last of Us games and the God of War games are really high. If I had to pick one from each of those, The Last of Us 1 for nostalgia, The Last of Us 2 for story, and God of War, the first one's like a classic. So I want to say the first God of War. If not the first God of War, then probably God of War 3.
Yeah, because I know you're a huge fan of the God of War series.
Yeah.
You've played them how many times?
A lot, and I went back to platinum all of them, and I've platinumed the 2 new ones, so 2018 and 2020. Or whenever, Ragnarok came out recently. When the fuck did Ragnarok come out? Was that this year?
It was the beginning of this year, I believe.
Like March or something?
It was last year. It was the end of last year.
Yeah. So those 2. And then I platinumed 1, 2, and 3. And then there were 2 spin-offs on like the Vita that was like Ghost of Sparta and Chains of Olympus. And I always forget which one I did. I think I platinumed Chains of Olympus, but it could have been Ghost of Sparta. But then whichever one I did platinum, I didn't platinum the other one because they fucking took it off the PlayStation Store and now it's gone forever. Unless I get a PS3 and find it on disc.
I will say a series I love, not like one of my favorite games in particular, but a series I love is the Dark Souls franchise. I absolutely love the Soulsborne series.
Yeah, see, I love it too, but I fucking suck.
They're hard, especially Dark Souls 2. It's very unforgiving. Although I think that one, I forget his name. The head guy over it. I don't think he was really over that one as much, which is why it's such a pain in the ass. And I know a lot of people don't like it because of it's not like the fun hard. It's just like
annoying and glitchy.
Annoying hard. Yeah. I will say probably my favorite Dark Souls game though would probably be 3. Then Elden Ring. If we're gonna count any of the Soulsborne games, probably goes 3, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1, and then Dark Souls 2. I haven't played Sekiro yet, so I can't really put it on that list.
Well, that is all for the questions, and I think that just about does it for the end of this episode as well. Who knows when we'll come back? Probably a week, because like I said, we're very consistent.
Yeah, there's no time skip arcs here.
No time skip. You can count on us. If there's one thing you can say about the Bizarre Cast, is that there are 2 reliable guys. For the next episode, we might have a little special somebody, and we'll release more on that when it happens. But until then, I think that's the end of this episode. My name is Bizarre.
I'm Zeno.
And we will see you weebs later.
Goodbye.
Bye.